Colin?
Hey, Mark, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Good. I was just curious with there's just so much going on this year in basketball, out of your guys' control, basically. Just what goals does the team have for this season?
Uh, I feel like the goals we have is, we want to make our. We think that being 10th in the SEC, or you know, we just coming out ready to play hard and show that how good of a team we have this year. So, I mean, the goals that we have are, being SEC champions, and something that's never done here before. So that's the main goal for our team. Just playing hard and sticking together.
Andrew?
Hey, Mark, just how different does this year feel because of all the uncertainty, the lack of fans versus years in the past?
It's definitely going to be different, but, we're all negative, so I just think we're looking at it like normal. Obviously, we know that it's not going to be as many fans, but, I feel like we're all ready to play. Everyone on our team is negative, so we're just excited to be out there.
Mark, how do you kind of look at yourself fitting into the guard rotation, and how do you feel all of you guys are going to be able to play off of and with each other?
I feel like we're going to play great with each other just because, I feel like everyone knows their role and everyone knows their strengths. And, just in practice, we've been playing and flowing together. I feel like it's going to be fun to play with all the different guards, It's just we have a great group, so I feel like we're going to be talented.
I'm sorry, did you say my name? Okay, I'll just ask. Mark, I know 3-point shooting was a bit of an issue for you guys last year. Has there been any difference in how or how much you guys practice 3-point shooting?
Yeah, I feel like we practice 3-point shooting a lot, especially the extra work guards are getting right now. And I feel like right now everyone's shooting the ball really well. So that's great going into the game starting tomorrow.
CJ?
You're muted.
There we go. Sorry, I couldn't find the right button. Mark, how Tilly looked so far this year in practices, and is there anything different about him this season as opposed to past years?
I feel like Tilly is really he's dominating in practice. Just whenever he gets the ball around the paint, I feel like he's scoring every time almost. So really, we've been focusing on getting him the ball, all the time on offense and letting him do what he does. The scrimmage he played really well, and I just feel like he's a leader this year. That's what I've seen here, helping guys out, helping the younger guys like Jordan and Parker. And, I mean, he's just doing everything really. Defense, talking, like he's a lot of talker on defense. I say, and, just being a leader this year, and you can see he's really matured a lot, and you can tell by his play on the court.
Nice.
Hey, Mark, do you kind of go into this year sort of expecting there to be disruptions, whether it's not your team or the other team? Can a veteran team kind of be more flexible and just adjust with whatever happens with the schedule?
I just feel like we just are trying to control what we can control. I feel like if the other team gets COVID, then yeah, but I feel like right now we're not really worried about that. We're just looking forward to the game and going about our business. So.
Hey, Mark, now you're close with Drew Smith. I guess I have to differentiate now, but what makes him the kind of the old man of the team, maybe more so than some of you other seniors?
He's about to get married here in a couple months. Otherwise, Drew he really just chills. He really doesn't say too much, so he's a goofy guy. But yeah, he's about to get married. That's about it.
Hey, Mark, I know you're probably going to get asked about this as we get closer to December 12th, but what was it like from your experience seeing the bragging rights is moving from St. Louis to either a campus, and then it was decided to be a coin flip that is now Mizzou is hosting? What was it like kind of from your experience watching all that go down?
It was It was great. I'm glad we're playing the game here now. Hopefully we can get another win this year. But otherwise, I think it's great that we won the coin flip. I thought it was dope how we got to do that. So,
Mason.
Hey, Mark. So, with the strong veteran presence on this year's team with so many upperclassmen, how do you think that has benefited the team in the build up to this season?
I think it's benefited just because of our practices. I feel like our practices have been really good. There's everyone holding each other accountable, and I feel like we're getting better each day. You know, every person, every player is coming in just locked in, ready to get better each and every day in practice, and that's what I've seen the most with this group. Like, if you make a mistake or something like that, we're trying to learn and get better so we don't do that twice. And you can really tell just how competitive practice has been lately.
Joel.
Hey, Mark. I know we talked about uncertainty. How has it been seeing teams just within the last 24 to 48 hours that you're going to play either within 2 weeks or later in the schedule, pausing their basketball activities with COVID, such as, SEC teams, Wichita State, who you guys play in less than 2 weeks? What has that been like?
I personally haven't been paying attention to teams canceling their season. I've just really been focused on, us as a team. I know, like I said earlier, we're all negative. So right now we're ready to play tomorrow. So I haven't really been paying attention to other teams.
Dave, do you have another question? No. Colin.
Hey, Mark, you guys have been pretty good on your home court the past couple of years, but maybe a little bit tougher go of things on the road. Just do you think the lack of fans will have an impact either way on how you guys play, either at home or on the road, and how you defend the court or go play somewhere else?
Not really. I know the fans here, the fans do help, but, I feel like, we come out and play together, and, what I've seen from us in practice, I feel like we're going to be ready and good to go wherever we go. So I'm just excited for this season. We got a good group of guys. So.
Mason, do you have another one? Okay. Anything else for Mark? All right. Thanks, Mark.
No.
Just what do you think this year is going to be like with all the uncertainty week to week?
It's gonna be interesting. You don't know what's gonna happen next, so I feel like each game you play, it could be your last. It could be, you never know. So you just gotta go out there and just give it your all. Like you said, the uncertainty week by week, you never know what's gonna happen. Like everything is like not promised and not guaranteed. So you can't take none of these games for advantage.
Colin.
Hey, Jeremiah, Mark was saying a couple times that this team is going to play together this year. What does that phrase mean to you? How does a team play together to you?
I just feel like we got the best team. This is the best locker room I've seen of my 4 years being here. So I feel like we all get along off the court. We can get on each other real hard during practice, and it ain't no bad blood between us. Everybody play together, so I feel like that's what you mean as far as like knowing our roles on the court and knowing what to do and not getting out of character.
Jack.
Jeremiah, I know you dealt with injuries a lot during a lot of last year. How healthy do you feel heading into this year?
I feel 100% healthy. My foot was bad last year, but I'm past that now. I'm good now, though. Thank you.
Dave.
Jeremiah, where do you think we'll see the most improvement for you on the floor, on either side of the court?
Me running for real. I feel like I've got back to where I've been running the floor like I'm supposed to, where I need to. I'm more poised. If like stuff not going my way, you won't see me, you know what I'm saying, looking for the refs to call no foul on anything like that. I'm just letting the game play. I'm not rushing anything. It's just a different person, honestly.
Mason.
Yeah. Hi, Jeremiah. So how have you used your experiences through your first 3 seasons at Mizzou to help out younger players like Jordan Wilmore or Parker Braun in their early days of the program?
Basically not letting them make the mistakes I made, as far as just the work ethic and just doing things that wouldn't help you on the court, as far as like just not working out enough or anything like that. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying like I've experienced it. So now that I'm older, I push them to like not, you know what I'm saying, not work hard. I mean, I push them to work hard, but I just make sure like they just on their P's and Q's at all times.
Eric?
Jeremiah, you said something interesting a couple minutes ago. This is the best locker room you guys have had in your time here. What paved the way for that, considering a heavy majority of the core of this team is intact from last year?
Honestly, I don't know. We got the same group of guys back already, and we got like 3 or 4 new guys, but we all just click together. Like, it's a good bond in the locker room, and that's where it started for real. Normally, you have players that, you know what I'm saying, that stuff stays in the locker room, but everybody on the team, we get along good. We always hanging out on the court, at least over. Like, you can tell that we want to play with each other and play for each other.
Ben?
Jeremiah, you mentioned earlier that guys are really, getting on each other a lot, and you guys are helping each other. What's the difference in the feeling on the team when you've got a group that is, it's not all on the coaches for that stuff? You guys help each other out with that kind of stuff.
That shows growth in like the players, honestly, versus you letting stuff slide and waiting for the coach to say something. If you feel like you've put enough work in and, you know what I'm saying, you doing everything you're supposed to do as far as leading, then whatever you say, they gon' like stand behind what you say. So, I mean, everybody working, everybody got enough respect for each other to where we can say something to each other, and it's like on to the next play.
Dave? Bennett?
Hey, Jeremiah. You mentioned feeling more at peace this year, and I know you've talked to us before about sort of meditation exercises that you've done. Is that something that you're still doing? Any meditative activities?
Honestly, no, I haven't done it in a while. I've just been here, and like I said, I've been through some personal things in my life that helped me grow as a person, and I just had to get more mature, and it just helped me, honestly. I just got a lot of discipline in my life. I just do the same things every day, and it's just working out for me.
Eric?
Jeremiah, it sounds like to me that playing basketball this year for you is almost therapeutic. Is that correct, and how so?
Say that again.
It sounds like to me that playing basketball for this year is almost therapeutic. It's almost, just natural, despite it being in the middle of a pandemic for you this year. Is that correct? And correct assessment? If so, why?
I mean, we don't have no choice. Like, regardless of what's going on, I feel like we want to play basketball anyway, even if, how this pandemic going on. I mean, we all still want to play basketball, even if things go bad. I mean, we still try to figure out something to do. Like, basketball is life, honestly. So we gonna figure something out, even if things went bad.
Dave, did you have one now?
Yeah, Jeremiah, will there be a small part of you that will miss the booze in the bragging rights game now that's going to be a home game with no fans?
It's gonna be cool now. I mean, being that there ain't gonna really be nobody there, besides probably like family, you can probably just hear your family talking the whole time versus like the whole crowd just saying stuff. Probably have your family members screaming stuff that you probably don't want them to scream. So that might be a con to that.
Any other questions for Jeremiah?
Anything helpful about this situation? We've had injuries in the past, so making necessary adjustments has been a part of what we do. It's just the unknown of having guys that'll be healthy, or playing teams where the games might be canceled. I think the biggest thing for us, what we try to do is try to maintain as much focus and concentration in practice to also do the stuff we need to get done in practice, and not get so consumed with the next game, because it's hard to schedule out and say, okay, normally you say on the 25th we play this team, on the 13th we play this team. Well, it's one practice at a time, and if a game presents itself, let's prepare for that game. I think the biggest thing is just really making sure our guys maintain focus and concentration.
Mitch?
Cuonzo, we've seen, a lot of already kind of some issues with these multi-team events, including, I believe, Oregon, who you all were scheduled to play in Connecticut, or talking about playing in Connecticut, dropping out. Has there been any more discussions on your all's end about whether or not you all will play that event?
It's still in the air right now on whether we'll play that event, play Oregon, or not play at all. So as we speak, it is going on. Because we've probably been presented with 6 different teams in the last week as far as playing out in Connecticut. I'm hopeful that we can get some here done, but I know we play Old Roberts tomorrow. That's all I do know, unless something crazy happens. But yes, but that's still up in the air.
Eric?
Cuonzo, as things are up in the air like that, does preparation, the schedule of preparing your team kind of change when you don't know if it's Boston College, Oregon, or any other school?
That part is hard, especially if you don't have enough turnaround to prepare, because the preparation is not so much as playing the actual game, but the scouting of your opposing team, but also mentally preparing your guys of who you're playing against. I mean, that has a lot to do with it as well. Not to say they can't go out and play the game, but you're also trying to win the game and put forth your best effort in playing that game. And again, like I said before, like I said to Dave, the biggest thing is making sure our players have a level of focus and concentration and get what we need to get done and continue to get better in practice. And like for us, we haven't had every player here in practice. So it just, you want to make sure that you have everybody clicking on all cylinders, and that's continue to be a work in progress.
Ben?
Coach, the stockpile of guards that you have, and they've all got a ton of experience. I mean, is there an ideal situation or scenario in which you see all these guys, especially, Drew and X, how they play together and how they help each other?
Oh, I certainly think you'll see those guys on the floor. Now, we don't have a script as far as in the plan of, say, okay, at this particular time. I think a lot of time is what the game presents, but we haven't had all 3 of those guys rarely in practice, unless it's a 4-on-4 breakdown, but rarely have we had all 3 of them together in the game in practice setting, just because you need them to iron sharp as iron to go against each other in some areas. But there have probably been situations, yes.
Andrew?
Hey, Coach, how has your team handled the pandemic so far? Have you guys had to stop and start any preseason practices? And I know Mark Smith told us that you guys are all negative right now. Just wanted to confirm that.
That's what Mark said. But I think, I think our guys are doing a good job of handling them. It's what it is. I mean, you can only control what you can control. So they've done a good job with that. They've done a good job of maintaining focus. They also understand what we do. We play basketball, but dealing with the COVID virus is a part of life. So we have to deal with that as well. And just taking the necessary precautions every day, just doing the right things, being aware of who you're around, respecting not only your teammates to the staff, but also your roommates. We talk about those things quite a bit because they'll make decisions. We just hope that they make sound decisions when they're not in our presence.
Colin?
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Just with so much uncertainty with the pandemic happening, did that change the goals you guys set for this season as a team?
No, we want to win. We want to be successful. So that part doesn't change. I mean, normally you play 31 games. Now we were scheduled to play 27. It could be 25. So that part, you're hopeful that you can play 18 conference games. We're just trying to prepare, again, whatever that next game is, let's be as good as we can be as a team. Individual, let me improve my skill. Let me do the things that I need to improve upon and not get ourselves out there. We start thinking about conference play because, again, there's so many unknowns.
Mark said one of those goals was to win the SEC. I'm guessing that's something that's been on your board since you got here.
Oh, no question. That'll be a great one. And it's a lot of work to get done to do that. And I think we have the hearts, the competitive spirit to try to get that done.
Jack?
Coach, I know Tillman said that the locker room feels kind of closer together than it has before. Do you feel that as well, and what do you think goes into that?
I think just for the guys here, just maturity over time. The guys you have in your locker room, the accountability. What are you willing to allow? What are you willing to accept? And what do you demand in the locker room? Because it's always easy for coaches to do certain things, but if that's not translated from the coaching staff into the locker room, then it's just a locker room. I think where you develop the camaraderie and the relationships, and when teams talk of family, because we use that word all the time, not sure they really understand the meaning of family when you're in the locker room. Because if you're a true family, that means sometimes we need to get uncomfortable as a family in order to get comfortable. So I think they've progressed to that. But only adversity will reveal the truth in that here shortly.
Great.
Yeah, Coach. I've heard that there are plans for some coaches to pay tribute to John Thompson tomorrow, and I wondered if you planned on being part of that, and if you can reflect on what he's meant to you and whether he even recruited you back in the day.
Yes, I plan to wear the towel, but I need a towel anyway, so I always have it. I just have to flip my black towel to a white one, because Coach Thompson had a white towel, but I certainly plan to be a part of it. As far as what he meant to me, just a guy that had a tremendous presence about him, and the way he spoke and the things that he demanded, and his command as a leader. Back then, it was more than basketball. We said it all the time, but I think he truly embodied more than just basketball. He wanted to make sure young men were successful student athletes, because I think they were so successful as a basketball program, we somehow took for granted the level of institution Georgetown is from a prestige standpoint when it comes to the academic side of it. Those guys they were still student athletes, and he made sure his guys understood that part, and he held them accountable to do the right things on and off the court. But it's just an extension of what most players have when they come from home, a father figure. He was that for his guys, and he was demanding, because what I try to do, he saw 10, 20 years down the road. He didn't see you in your present moment where you stand currently. He understood what the life you were about to lead, what you were about to get yourself into, how to prepare for life. And those are a lot of things he brought to the table. And I'm grateful and blessed that I had the chance to hear one of his last speeches.
Eric?
Cuonzo, just overall, what have you guys in preparation, have you guys kind of run through it like a full game thus far? Obviously with the socially distant seating and maybe like just different things around the court, have you gone through that part of the process?
Yeah, we had a scrimmage, I think maybe Friday. So we're going to had officials here, and the seating it's certainly different. So communication, it'll be interesting, especially that first game, to get a feel for everybody, I would imagine, just because of the seating, lack of fans, how you check into games, where your players are sitting, because they have to stay in those same seats throughout the season, more or less. I have to figure out where I'll sit at. So hopefully I have an advantage when I'm communicating with our players. We've experienced it, but we'll see once we get into it, which is strange because we have 6 feet apart across and we have 22 seats, but we can huddle up together during timeouts. So again, we'll make it work.
Cuonzo, we talked a lot about Drew Buggs, but the other newcomers, how do Chang and Wilmore, how do they fit into your plans on how they can be used this year?
Well, obviously, you know about Drew Buggs. I think Big Jordan he's progressed every week. Strong physical guy, much better than I thought as far as his physical presence, understanding of the game. Now I think like with most big guys, not all, the ability to post when he's off the block, because he's strong down low. When he gets it down low, he's strong. He has a great presence. But when he's off the block, continue to take his time, make a strong move, because he's a physical presence. I think Ed Chang right now is a guy with the ability to catch and shoot. He's long. He can really shoot. That's what he's known for, shooting the basketball, and that's a presence within itself.
Cuonzo, Jeremiah Tillman has obviously changed a lot from his first day on campus. What are the biggest changes you've seen in him? And also, could you speak to, he mentioned as he has found peace off the court in his personal life, he feels like that's helped him change his game for the better. Have you seen that, and how have you seen that?
I can see the growth. He's a totally different player when he's away from the game. I think what happens when competition presents itself, it brings out a different level of emotions in certain players, and it brings out something different in him. Because he's a likable, lovable guy, whatever adjective you want to use about him away from the game. Great energy, love to be around, love to talk to him, all of that. But when he's competing, he's competing, and there's something comes out of him that you wanted to come out, but how it comes out. That's the thing. And we will see once we start here, because he's been great in practices, scoring the ball, leading, communicating, all those things you expect, especially from a senior. He's done all of that. And I've always said with him is just whenever perceived adversity hits, how does he deal with it? And here we are again.
Sweetie. Because I remember last year you kind of went up to bat for Drew Smith in terms of being all SEC. Now that he's been picked second team by coaches and media, I'm just curious, what does he kind of bring to your team that maybe fits so well in terms of just his game, and he can do a little bit of everything?
Well, he's a good basketball player. He's a guy that enjoys playing on both sides of the basketball, whether first or second team. I think he's, when you're talking pound for pound production of a guy, I think he's as good as any guard in our league. I think oftentimes, and I'm not a guy that votes and do all those rankings, I think oftentimes we do these things. We vote based on, okay, does this guy have a chance to be in the NBA? It seems like we look at it that way, as opposed to this is college sports. He's good for the college game. And I think if we did a better job of evaluating, I think he'd be a first-team guy because of what he brings to the table. And he's on both sides of the basketball. And he has good energy, good passion, good enthusiasm. He's a student of the game. He competes. He plays hard. And that's what I like about him. But again, he's a guy that can go out there and have 10 points. He got 15, got 20. But his impact is, getting steals, guarding other team's best guy, getting a big rebound, getting an assist. That's his game. His game is not a gauge, okay, he had 25 points. Okay, they're great, but what else did he do? Because he brings other things in. And what we say, we talk about it all the time, we like for guys to get money in practice. It might not check into the bank, but your teammates know about it. Where you set a great screen, where you got a good assist, all those little things. And he's one of those guys that bring that to the table. He might set the screen. He might make the hard cut where somebody else got the shot. He brings that to the table, and that's needed on the basketball floor. Plus, he comes in when you perceive the all-league guy, you come in with a different reputation. Our teams guard you differently. There's a different level of respect, and for him, it's just embracing whatever that is.
We got time for a couple more, Mitch.
Cuonzo, I know you mentioned the spaced out seats on the bench during games. Are you all doing anything different in practices this year to kind of ensure that one positive test doesn't wipe out like the whole team through contact tracing or something like that?
In practice, our seating, even in practice, we are probably 8 feet apart in practice. So spread out throughout the baseline where guys sit. So we do that. They've always had their own water bottle, so you don't worry about that as much. We're not necessarily, we used to huddle up closely before practice and after practice, so now we spread out. So I got to yell a lot of stuff that I'm saying. We just, as much precaution as possible, whatever it is. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's unique because we're always a team that's together holding hands, high-fiving on us, so you got to stay away from those things. And that's an adjustment. We've gotten better now, but earlier that was tough for our guys because of certain things that we teach. But I think, then you have, Coach Nicodemus and PB who are training those guys on top of everything as well, so they make sure we're doing what we need to do also.
Mason?
Cuonzo, so you've talked a little bit about sort of increasing the tempo between last year and this year. Are there any other adjustments that we'll see with the offense in this upcoming season?
Hopefully balls going in the basket. That'd be a great one. Consistent balls going in the basket. That'd be a great one.
All right, last one. Andrew?
Coach, we saw at the end of last year, Xavier Pinson really came into his own. And do you think he can be an elite scorer for you guys this season?
I think so. I think he has it, but I think it has to be more than scoring for him. I think he has to continue to improve the ability to get assists because he's so fast. I mean, he's really played fast. He's embraced that part, and he's tough to guard in practice because he's so fast. Now it's the other parts because he has, strange. He came in with the mentality pass. Now he has the mentality to score, which is not bad because he can score the ball, but it has to be a combination. He's at his best when he's doing both.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.